Hi, FMP 294. So Matthew here. I just want to try and give you a little tool that I think you might find useful heading forward in the course. So some of you have been interested in trying to calculate your grade or knowing how to calculate your grade. So here's a handy little spreadsheet that should make that a pretty simple operation. So I've sent you all a link to the spreadsheet. So once you get here, you'll be able to see the breakdown of all of the projects and evaluation terms in the course, their point value. So you can see, for example, here, comments are worth 25 points, logo graphic project 50 points. You can also see what that works out to in terms of a percentage of your total score. So for example, the logo graphic project that's worth 50 points accounts for 5% of your total score. And you can also see here what that works out to in terms of percentage and points. So for example, 85% is 850 points. 1 point is then 1/10 of a point. Hopefully all of that makes sense and is not too confusing. It's all pretty straightforward here. Now what's useful about this spreadsheet is you can actually use it to keep track of how you're doing currently in the course, as well as try and determine how you're going to do in the course overall. Now in order to use this, what you have to first do, because it's a Google Doc, is you're going to have to sign into Google. Now if you're more comfortable using Excel, you can use this File menu and you can just download this as an Excel document and just use this in Excel. That's a totally fine way to use this particular spreadsheet. If you're going to use it in Google Docs, in order to do that, first you use this little button right here to sign in. You'll click sign in. You'll fill in all of your username information to get logged in here, and then you should be all set. Now, what I've done is what I'm going to do rather, is I'm going to click on this file menu and I'm going to click on make a copy. So I'm going to copy this into my Google Docs so that you have a copy that you can actually edit. And for example, that's going to look something like this. So I might call this my FMP 294 grade. I'll click OK, and now I have a copy of this document that I can actually edit, change, and treat as something that treat as a way to actually see how I'm doing inside of the course. Now, what we can do here is that the way this spreadsheet is set up, the only fields that you're going to edit, the only things where you should actually change anything or input any numbers is this green column right here. This is the only place that you should put any numbers at all, because everything else is already set up with formulas. So what that means in practical terms is, for example, if you know in your logo graphic project that you earned 45 points, you type in 45, you can see that means that you currently have a grade that's an A minus. You've got a 90%, 45 divided by 50, it will give you 90%. And you can see that if you were to stop completing any assignments from here forward in the course, your total grade would be a 4.5%, or that you would have earned an F. This would actually be an E. So that's important to know. So you can continue to go through here, and as you get grades, as you complete assignments, you can just type those numbers in here. And what that will do for you is it will allow you to keep track of how you're doing inside of the course. So let's type in a value here for this podcast project, for example, 85. Why not? So here we can see that that works out to 87%, or 158 points. Now, your total grade in the class, if you were to drop it today, would still be an F or an E, because you only have 15.8%. So it's important to know that this is how you're doing in the course right now. So this is only evaluating the assignments that you've completed so far, and this is what your grade would be if you were to end class today, if you weren't to complete any more assignments. Now this also means that you can go through here and you can try and figure out what would happen to what happen to your grade depending on what your score might be. So for example, if you know that the final project is worth 200 points and you want to know what would it mean for your grade if you were to get all 200 points, you can type in 200 and you can see what that would do to your current grade, as well as what it would do to your final grade. What would happen if I only got 180 points or 100 points? What would happen if I didn't do it? These are all great ways to try and figure out how you're doing in the course, as well as to keep track of the grading system. Now there's a grading system in the course shell already, but it's not exactly helpful in terms of figuring out what might happen in terms of how you're going to be graded on projects in the future, or what you're going to need to get on all of your projects in order to get the grade that you'd like for the course. So I hope this is a useful tool, and let us know if you have any questions. All right, have a great day. Bye.